shoulder internal rotation PAILs only for neurological tightness, a little bit of connective tissue architecture as well. So what we're going to do is, the neurological tightness means you can sort of get into internal rotation, but what stops you is pain. So if I push down here and I push all the way down to the end of my range, I stop here because it's the end of my range. But if you get to a certain point and it hurts, this is where we're talking about the neurological tightness, and this is where it comes in for you. So all we're going to do is we're going to get into a position of shoulder internal rotation that is sort of on the edge of your pain, like when it kicks in, when it's uncomfortable. We don't want to get to pain, but we also want to make sure that your shoulder is kind of be as restful as possible. So I don't want you to be having to hold your arm up. So all you're going to do, you can sit down like this, put your arm up on the top of your shoulder here, and literally get your arm and push down until you get to that point. Like if this starts to kind of hurt at this point, this is basically where you hold. So don't be in pain. If you get to the pain, just come out a little bit. So a little bit of uncomfortable is okay, pain is not, so come out. So you're just going to hold here, and then you're going to do a PAILs contraction. So PAILs is the progressive isometric loading. So the progressive side on your shoulder is this outside, the inside's getting smaller. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into this position, hold here, probably hold for about 30 seconds just to sort of settle your nervous system a bit. And then a PAILs contraction will be you trying to rotate your arm back the way it came. So if my hand wasn't here, you'd be rotating back this way. And all you're going to do is hold and literally start ramping up your intensity. So you're going to do the intensity obviously according to your program. To start, it's likely going to be, say, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, something like that. So we're just going to accumulate 2 minutes worth of work. So if I get to here and then I start ramping it up, I'll just start really lightly, just sort of 5%, 10, 20, I might get up to say 30% effort. And then I'm going to hold this 30% effort for about 30 seconds. Once that 30 seconds is up, now I'll just relax. I'm going to stay where I am, but I'm going to relax. Now, you can wait 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds before you go again, just as long as you feel you've required to get a bit of a rest, and then go again. Start ramping up 10, 20, up to about 30%. Now, if you start doing this and you get to 10%, and that's okay, but then 20% hurts, then you're doing it around 10%. So you're getting up to the intensity that's prescribed in your program, or just before pain, whichever one comes first. But assuming you get to 30 seconds, that's it. You're literally just rotating that way, and you're going to be holding that for 2 minutes. Or 2 minutes worth of accumulative work, I should say. So what we're trying to do with this work is we're literally getting that tissue sort of lengthened. We're starting to load it, isometrically loading it while it says at its as lengthened as it can before obviously pain happens. That way we're targeting the connective tissue to the best of our ability in the capsule of your joint. We're doing it for a couple of minutes so that we're actually increasing some connective tissue architecture and actually building up some new connective tissue stuff in your joint. Another way you can do that without this hand is, and your program will tell you which one to do, is you do it with a band. So obviously I've got a band attached over here, get into literally exactly the same position. I'm going to come down, and I don't like to hold the band. I actually like to just sort of wrap it around the back of my hand like this. So when you get into position, if this obviously hurts, that's not where you start. So you kind of get up here, come over close to the band. Here we go. There's no internal rotation yet. Take some pressure off it with this hand, get into position, and then just slowly let the band pull you into that position. Once you get to that position where it's sort of, you're starting to feel that uncomfortable tightness, or you know, there's no pain, it's just the end of your range of motion, depending on what you're using this for, you then hold that and then slowly let go, and now I've got this tension. So once again, if you're doing this for 30 seconds on, bit of a rest, 30 seconds on, hold it for 30 seconds, and then just get your other hand to take the pressure off. Have a rest for as long as you need, slowly put the pressure back on, 30 seconds again. Once again, you're accumulating 2 minutes worth of work. As you progress through this at the same intensity, you may progress to being able to hold this for 1-2 minute block. If you can do that, do that. To start with, it'll be 30 seconds. We're going to slowly increase it. But the initial progression for this will be getting a larger range of motion as you progress, but also holding that for a longer period of time. Not necessarily adding more load, but holding it for longer. Once you get to being able to do it to 2 minutes, then we can start looking at different sort of loads and whatnot. Anyway, there you go. Enjoy your new shoulders.